Have you ever experienced something so eerie, so inexplicable, that it makes you question everything you thought you knew about the world? Today, we dive into some of the most chilling ghost encounters that continue to defy explanation. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, these stories are bound to leave you wondering if there's something more out there, just beyond our reach. Our first story takes place in a small town in the Midwest, where a family had been living in a seemingly ordinary house for years. However, as time went on, they began to notice strange occurrences. It started with whispers in the dead of night. Soft, almost inaudible voices would float through the walls. Too quiet to make out but too clear to ignore. At first, they thought it was just their imagination. But then, the footsteps began. Late at night, when the house was silent, the unmistakable sound of footsteps echoed through the hallways. The family would wake up to the sound of someone walking through the house, only to find it empty. This went on for months, but it wasn't until one night, when the youngest child saw something that truly terrified them. The child, lying in bed, looked up to see a shadowy figure standing at the foot of the bed, staring at them. The figure was tall, dark, and completely still. The child screamed, but when the parents rushed in, there was nothing there. The haunting presence had vanished, leaving only the chilling memory behind. Next, we travel across the world to a famous historic site in Japan. The Aokigahara Forest, also known as the Suicide Forest, is known for its dark history and eerie atmosphere. People from all over the world visit this forest, many seeking a peaceful retreat, but some never return. The dense trees, coupled with the unsettling quiet, create an environment that feels alive with whispers of the past. One visitor, an avid hiker, ventured into the forest one afternoon, unaware of the place's haunting reputation. As he walked deeper into the woods, he began to feel an overwhelming sense of dread. The air grew thick, and he couldn't shake the feeling that someone, or something, was following him. He turned around several times but saw nothing. It wasn't until he stumbled upon a small clearing that the real terror began. In the center of the clearing was a weathered, old rope tied to a tree. The rope had clearly been used recently, and as the hiker approached, he felt a sharp, icy chill run down his spine. Just as he turned to leave, he heard a voice. A whisper, soft and indistinct, coming from the direction of the rope. He didn't stick around to investigate further and quickly made his way back, but the chilling feeling stayed with him long after he left the forest. Our next story comes from a couple who recently moved into a new home. They were excited to start fresh in a beautiful old house, but they quickly realized they weren't alone. The first sign that something was off came when they started hearing strange sounds at night. At first, it was just a faint creaking sound, like the house was settling. But soon, it escalated to something far more disturbing. One evening, the couple was sitting in the living room when they both heard a loud bang coming from upstairs. Thinking it was a door or window slamming, they went to check, only to find everything in perfect order. The doors were closed, the windows locked, and there was no sign of anything amiss. But things took a darker turn one night when the couple woke up to a cold, icy chill in their bedroom. The temperature had dropped significantly, and the air was thick with an unsettling presence. As they lay there in fear, the bedroom door slowly creaked open. Standing in the doorway was a figure, barely visible in the dim light. It was tall, thin, and dressed in old-fashioned clothes. The couple stared in shock as the figure slowly walked into the room, only to vanish into thin air when they tried to reach for it. The next morning, they found out the house had a tragic past, with the previous owners having passed away under mysterious circumstances. The couple moved out soon after, but the memories of that night stayed with them forever. Next, we have a story from a man who had an experience while staying at a hotel in the UK. This particular hotel was said to be haunted by a spirit known as the Lady in Black. Many guests had reported sightings of a woman dressed in black wandering the halls late at night. Some claimed she appeared at the foot of their bed, while others said she would stand at the doorway, staring at them silently. This man, a skeptic of all things paranormal, was determined to disprove the rumors. He checked into the hotel, determined to get a good night's sleep without any disturbances. But as the night went on, things started to feel off. At exactly midnight, he was awoken by a cold breeze sweeping through the room. The door to his room was slightly ajar, and he swore he could hear faint footsteps in the hallway. Thinking it was just the wind, he tried to ignore it. But then, he heard something that made his heart stop, a woman's soft voice, saying his name. He turned to see a figure standing in the corner of the room. Draped in a long black dress, her face hidden in shadow. As he reached for his phone to take a photo, the figure vanished without a trace. The next morning, he was told that the Lady in Black had been seen by several guests over the years, and the experience was considered to be one of the most unsettling occurrences in the hotel's history. Finally, we end with a story that takes place in a quiet, rural town. The town was known for its peaceful atmosphere and close-knit community. But this all changed when a local man reported seeing strange lights in the sky one night. At first, people thought it was just a trick of the eyes or a passing plane. But the lights returned, night after night, each time more intense and closer to the ground. The man decided to investigate further, venturing out into the field where the lights were seen. As he walked through the tall grass, he noticed something strange. The lights were not coming from any conventional source. Instead, they seemed to hover, pulsing with an eerie, unnatural glow. Suddenly, the man felt a cold rush of air, and a figure appeared in the distance. It was humanoid in shape but completely shadowed, with no visible features. The man froze in place, unsure whether to run or approach. As he stood there, the figure slowly moved towards him. Just as it reached him, it vanished without a sound, and the lights above flickered out. The man never spoke of it again, but the town would never be the same. The strange lights continued to appear, and some locals believed that the figure was a sign from another world. If you loved these stories, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Which story was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Stay tuned for more epic tales from Reddit.